Hey, greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Steadfast and Loyal program.
You gotta light 'em up before they burn it down. Better dig deep and put 'em in the ground. Blood on their hands, they're hellbound. Save us all. They're gonna burn it down. Save us all before they burn it down.
Hey, greetings, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West here. United Patriot Coin is known for being one of the most reliable and affordable precious metals dealers out there, and it's a favorite of investors across the country. A lot of you have already gotten their Patriot Pack, which is a mix of small-sized gold and silver pieces, perfect for barter or trade if times get rough. They also offer precious metals bars and coins in multiple designs and sizes, so you can stock up on whatever you need. Now, they are launching Patriot portfolios for true tangible asset investors. If you're looking to invest at least $5,000, they will work with you to understand your goals and objectives, then build an exclusive portfolio of gold and silver tailored for your unique situation. Whether you want to play the market short-term or build a long-term portfolio to create a lasting legacy, they can put together a custom package just for you. Call now at 844-202-7834 to speak to a precious metals specialist and build a Patriot portfolio that you can be proud of. Visit UnitedPatriotCoin.com or call 844-202-7834. Mention West Portfolio, that's West Portfolio, and get a free ounce of silver added to any qualifying order. You know, there's a lot of talk about the border and all the ramifications thereof. A lot of people, focusing on the fentanyl issue, which hundreds of thousands of Americans now have lost their lives. I've been reading a book about Vietnam. We only lost 58,000 Americans in Vietnam. We've lost nearly 200,000, maybe a little over 200,000 in these past 3.5 years of the Biden administration because of the open border policies and fentanyl flowing across, the chemical warfare that has happened because of China and the Mexican drug cartels, the transnational narco-criminal terrorists. There's a lot of talk about the terrorists and that trafficking that has come across the border and what that means for the United States of America. But something that people should be talking about that we don't hear a whole lot, we don't hear a lot from our politicians, and that's the human and sex trafficking. When I'm driving around here in the Dallas area, my home is in Garland, and I see the young men and the young women especially, they're on street corners selling flowers. And lots of times you see the young women that are there and they have their little babies on the front pouches. They don't have water. They're just out there in the hot Texas sun selling flowers. And I tell people that's the everyday face of human trafficking because those people are here on those street corners selling flowers, trying to pay off debt for the cartels that brought them across. And you just ask yourself, well, why is that allowed to happen? Why doesn't someone just stop, law enforcement especially, and do a wellness check? Say, excuse me, senorita, senor, do you need water? Are you okay? You've been out here, I've noticed, in my patrol for 3-4 hours. No shade. Excuse me, senorita, how is your baby doing? Do you have milk for the baby? You would think that our basic human nature would do that. But no. For whatever reason, we just turned a blind eye. And let's talk about this thing called sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is the crime of exploiting persons using force, fraud, or coercion to make a person engage in sexual acts. A commercial sex act includes prostitution, pornography, or sexual performance done in exchange for any item of value, such as money, drugs, shelter, food, clothing, or protection. Despite growing awareness about this crime, human trafficking continues to go underreported due to its covert nature, misconceptions about its definition, and a lack of understanding about its indicators. You know, I had an opportunity recently to sit down with Yako Boyens, Booyens ministry, and Yako himself, and talk about this issue. Because here we are in Dallas, Texas. And a big thing that folks are pushing here in Dallas, Texas, well, certain folks, is this casino gambling thing. Now, I'm thinking, because I've been asked before, and people say, well, Carl, I'm sure you support the casino gambling coming in to bring money and revenue. I said, no. You can't support casino gambling coming in until you resolve the human and sex trafficking issue here in Dallas, which is in the top 10. If not in the top 5 cities for human and sex trafficking in the country. I mean, it's just become rampant where you see these young women, not just the ones that are selling flowers with their babies in the pouch in front of them, but you see scantily clad women just walking the streets during the day now, soliciting. Texas is the second largest hub for sex trafficking in the country. State of Texas, second largest hub for sex trafficking in the country. Houston and Dallas, like I said, are 2 top cities in the country. The city of Dallas is one of the top 10 cities nationwide with the most sex trafficking. On average, Dallas girls enter the sex trade at age 13. You know, when I go over this, I mean, having 2 daughters, that's the first thing I think about. I remember a couple of years ago when a young girl was kidnapped from a Dallas Mavericks basketball game, sold into sex trafficking. They later on found her in Oklahoma. But what was incredible about this story was when they found the person that kidnapped her and sold her into sex trafficking, sex slavery. The Dallas DA, John Creuzot, decided not to prosecute the guy because he wasn't from Dallas County. He was from Tarrant County. He lived in, I think, Bedford, Texas. We're allowing these people to get away with this? Every night there are 400 teenage girls being trafficked on the streets of Dallas. And the fastest growing form of trafficking in all counties is familial. 25 to 47% of trafficking is done by a caregiver. And 50% of those cases are mothers, get this, mothers trafficking their own children. Now, right now, I mean, we've got one political party that they're all about women being able to dismember babies in the womb up until the time of birth and maybe then afterwards. They're all about this child gender mutilation. I don't hear that same political party talking about the trafficking of young girls. I mean, maybe that's not an important issue. Maybe that's not one of those critical women's issues. But why is that? I mean, when you hear that we should take care of women and, you know, reproductive rights, whatever that means. I know what it means in actuality, but it's a very good, you know, poll tested, focus group tested word for, dismembering babies in the womb. But why aren't we doing a better job to protect our young girls from sex slavery, from this evil that is lurking on our streets? We need to do a better job and, not just finding who the perpetrator is. We need to do a better job finding the system and destroying the system. And again, if you think about bringing casino gambling into Dallas, Texas, which is already high for human and sex trafficking, state of Texas, period, what do you think that means for young girls here in Dallas especially? I know, Mark Cuban, some of these other guys, it's all about the greenback. It's all about the dollar. I know Miss Adelson and the Sands Pack, they're pushing hard. They're writing a lot of checks to political campaigns. But why aren't we caring about our young girls? I mean, it's pretty sad when you think about it. I mean, we do a really poor job of educating our children. We don't do a good job of protecting our children when it comes from, these perversions out there, drag queen story hour and everything. And what federal judge would come up with this notion that exposing our children to sexual deviance and perverts is a First Amendment right? I mean, you're just completely violating parental rights to protect a child. But then again, what parent will want to expose their child to sexual deviancy and perversion? See, there is a real war on our children that is happening right before our faces, right before us every single day. They're not safe in the womb. They're not even safe after they're born. They're not even safe growing up. They're not getting a proper education. And we're exposing them and allowing them to be preyed upon by sexual predators. And we've turned it into an industry as well, just the same as you have the abortion industry. I challenge us to do better here in Dallas. I challenge us to start paying attention to this issue. I will be talking about this more. As of January of 2024, beginning of this year, here's some statistics that we were able to pull down on human trafficking in Dallas, Texas. Arrest. In 2023, the Dallas Police Department made 190 arrests, including 116 for adult human trafficking and 74 for juvenile trafficking. This is an increase from 2022 when the Dallas Police Department made 28 arrests. I want you to think about that. We went from 28 arrests for adult trafficking to 116 in 1 year. We went from 64 juvenile trafficking to 74. Now that's who we caught. That's who we found. And every one of us who lives in Dallas County knows that the Dallas Police Department is being defunded by the Dallas City Council to the point where there are now some 600 to 1,000 police officers short. Rescues. In 2023, the Dallas Police Department rescued 99 children from traffickers. The Dallas-Fort Worth region accounts for 35% of commercial sexual exploitation cases in Texas, even though the Dallas-Fort Worth region, DFW region, is only 26% of the state's population. But yet, 35% of commercial sexual exploitation cases in Texas come from this one North Texas region, Dallas-Fort Worth. That's alarming. And that's just what we know. That's just who we have caught. How even worse could it be, ladies and gentlemen? So I think it's very important that going into this election cycle, I want you to ask your elected representatives here in the Dallas-Fort Worth region. I want you to start talking to your law enforcement agencies here in the Dallas-Fort Worth region. I want you to start talking to your state house and state Senate representatives for the Dallas-Fort Worth region. And folks down in Houston, it ain't much better. But I live up here. Let's stop talking about casino gambling and how we can make more money, because it will only exacerbate a very, very dangerous and evil situation that we have happening right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Young girls should not have to worry about competing against biological males. Young girls should be playing with Barbie or just enjoying life and growing up to become young women. They should not be objects, and young men also, should not be objects of adult sexual perversions. But for some odd reason, we lost our eye on this bubble. And we've turned our children over to the Baal god of Moloch and those gods of little g, of perversions and deviancy that cause immense trauma for our children, stunting their growth into adults. The people who are steadfast and loyal will protect their children. It's clearly evident that we have some that are not.
Before they burn it down.